This here is a remarkable,
Welcome to the Wedding of Distinction podcast, a program for the unique bride and groom. The Wedding of Distinction is a concept where brides and grooms want something better, not just your average wedding. We have the tools to make that happen. Now, here's your host, Mike Fernino.
Well, how do you do? Hi, everybody. I'm Mike, and I'm in the wedding business. I love doing weddings. In fact, I've been a professional wedding DJ and master of ceremonies for over 35 years. I've had the pleasure of working with over 3,500 couples on their wedding celebrations, and God willing, I'll have many more. It's a fabulous time in the life of a couple planning a wedding. The planning process can be as much fun as the wedding itself. Well, maybe not so much. Actually, sometimes planning could be a real pain, but technology can make things easier. Today, on my program, I'm going to be speaking with an actual webmaster. Actually, he's my webmaster. He's my web designer and someone who answers all of my technology questions, because God knows I have no clue when it comes to the internet. Greg Zonches of Zoncom Marketing is my very special guest today. And we're going to talk about creating a custom wedding website, one where a couple can completely post details of their wedding, interact with their guests, create a music playlist, and have their guests learn all about them, a little bit more about them, and how things are going to go for the wedding itself. Creating a website is something that anyone can do, but not everyone can do it well. Greg knows how to do it well, so let's explore wedding websites, what's possible, and how to have fun with it. Today, on the Wedding of Distinction podcast. On the Zoom line today, I have my friend Gregory Zonches, and he is from Zoncom Marketing, Internet, Branding, all that Internet stuff. Greg, how you doing?
Good, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the podcast, Mike.
My pleasure. Greg is actually my web guy, and listen, for the record, I have no clue what I'm doing. Zero. Zilch. I can't stand the internet. Computers scare me. Technology frightens me.
It makes two of us.
that's why we have Greg. And I wanted to bring him on the program today, the Wedding of Distinction, because we wanted to talk about our topic being brides and grooms preparing a very special website for their wedding plans to keep their guests updated, to allow guests to even interact with them, maybe make music selections, put photos up of their plans, and just generally just get excited about the wedding. So being that Greg, he builds websites from scratch. In fact, he built our Music in Motion website and designed everything, which we love. So we're going to just kind of start right there. So Greg, why don't you just start up and telling the story about what you did for your wedding? I know that you were way ahead of your time.
So we got married in 1999, and my wife and I thought it would be good to let out-of-towners and people that don't know much about us know more about us. So the internet was just starting to take off, and we're like, we think this internet thing is going to be a big thing. So we created a website. And on there, we had a countdown timer that counted down. It had little bell animations. You remember the old animations where they were just animated GIFs and things like that. We overly did it. But we had a countdown timer. We had a registry on there so people could see where we were registered to. And then they could click on a link to go to Crate and Barrel or Toys R Us or wherever we're registered with. And we had other things on there as well, like a little bit of trivia about each of us, so that when people went on there, it wasn't just about the wedding. It was getting to learn about the bride and the groom a little bit, it's to make it a little more personal on a personal level. So we did that, and that worked out really well for us. And even to this day, I still have that website up somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's still running, and it's probably going negative on the on the clock now.
It's an internet limbo, is what it is.
It is. I'll have to go on archive.org to see if it's in there in the archive somewhere. But we started doing that, and then as we started doing more things with weddings, we started offering that to clients. So when we started doing, wedding shows and things of that nature, we started offering that, and it really didn't pick up that much because a lot of people didn't know about the internet. This was early AOL days and things like that. So it was kind of ahead of its time. But
I would
that's
have to
where
say
we-
so, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we started doing it.
It was way ahead of its time. It's actually advanced for 2023, Greg, but I think it's a great idea. So let's kind of start and give our listeners an idea of what they need to do to get things started. Obviously, if they just contact you, you could build it for them. Very simple. But if someone just wants to throw something up together, I would assume they're going to start with WordPress, right? As far as the backbone of what they're going to build, a little website for their wedding plans.
Well, it depends how deep they want to go with the website. If they just want to throw something up, they could go to something like Wix or Squarespace or one of them, and that has hosting and it has templates, and they may be able to find everything that they want on there. Of course, they'll be limited to the templates that are there, but that might be good for them. But if they want to create a fully customized website, usually you get a web hosting company, and then you install software such as WordPress or Drupal or any other number of software packages. And then you have somebody such as myself design it, because WordPress is just the back end. Just think of it like you have Windows on your computer. Well, you don't have any programs, so you have to program it and put the graphics up and the fonts and the colors, and you have to do all that. So that's what we do. We do all the hard end, back end stuff. And if somebody wants to do it themselves and make changes to it, I always ask them, I said, do you think you'll want to work on your website? And if they say, yeah, then I'll make it easy for them so that they can go in there. If they, if something, the date changes or something, I'll tell them exactly where they can go in there and make that change.
Right now, because I'm thinking as a DJ, it's what I do. So I'm going to think about an interactive type of website where the bride and groom can not only post photos and talk about their plans. I love what you did where there was information about you. So maybe people who are coming who don't know you as well, maybe they're guests and they would like to find out a little bit more about you. All that information is there. But what's involved for an interactive segment of the site? For example, if the bride and groom wanted to allow their guests to make music requests that they could then put together for a main list for the DJ, is it something, let's say, interactive with Spotify as an example?
Well, I don't know about Spotify. I'm a former DJ as well, and I didn't like it where I would never stream things at a wedding. I would always want everything on my computer that I had there. So what I would do to do something like that is I would actually go on a website like DJ Event Intelligence or some of the other ones such as that, where you can actually have it set up where people can, two ways, the bride and groom can pick what songs they want you to play or what songs they don't want you to play. So, and then you print those lists out before you go to the wedding. And then they can also put on the website a special page for the guest where the guests can log in and they can put in songs that they want to hear. So that way, when you as the DJ, you're like, okay, I want to make sure I bring some of these songs because it looks like a lot of people are wanting these types of songs. So that actually allows you maybe to read the crowd a little bit also when you're getting there. If for some reason you're looking in there and you see, wow, most of these requests are country, well, it might be, a good idea to load up some of your country songs in your crates and bring those, because that's probably what they're going to ask for since they're asking for it on DJ Event Intelligence.
Right. So now you're talking about integrating a site like DJintelligence.com, which allows the user to go in there and create custom playlists. And now you're talking about integrating that with the actual website itself.
Exactly, because when you log into websites such as DJ Event Intelligence or DJ Event Planner, they will give you links that you can then put on your website. So we put that on the website, like click here to, add songs to your list and things like that.
And are there any sites out there for free that you know of that couples can go to for a basic website? Or is this something where they really need to get a little hosting and put together something and build it from scratch?
No, yeah, they could go to like Google. Google offers a free website. Every Google member person that has a Gmail account gets a free website. Of course, it's very limited, but it might be just enough to get people started, and they may get on there and say, you know what, I want more than this, and then the person designing the website would then look at that and say, okay, looks like you started good here. How about we add some more things to it? How about we add your DJ Event Intelligence or DJ Event Planner thing on there? Let's add more photos. Let's have more interactivity with the photos. Let's make them more fun. So there's so many different things you can do too. Nowadays you can even do little games online. When you're at a wedding, you have like the shoe game and things like that. You could kind of do virtual things like that on web pages, like trivia and things like that as well.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And let's just talk about the absence of a physical wedding invitation versus the bride and groom deciding that they want their web page, their website to do everything. How is it possible to integrate, let's say, an interactive form where the guest can say, I want the baked stuffed chicken and a filet mignon. And by the way, Jim and Laura will be attending too, please. Is that also possible addition to the website where they no longer have to physically mail out a wedding invitation? The guest could just respond online interactively.
I guess, yeah, that could actually be done, because any question could be put in any form on a website. So whether it says, are you having chicken, or do you want to hear the chicken dance? Either or you can have it worded differently. So yeah, you could do something like that. I think there'll always be a place for physical invitations going out, but as the society goes more into the digital age, I think more and more there will be things such as that. And I think there might even be specialized providers that provide a service like that, whether it be the Knot or, something like that.
And also, could you speak to a responsive type of form like WordPress, where guests can not only have the website on a desktop or laptop, but it also will format to a phone?
Yeah, that's one of the things that we specialize in, especially if you get something in WordPress, because when I design a website, I design 3 separate websites. I design one that would look good on a laptop or a computer monitor, as well as a tablet size and a phone. So whether you're holding the phone sideways or up and down, portrait mode or landscape mode, it'll go across to that length and that width. So those days of having to pinch and zoom in, trying to read the words on a website, those days are gone now.
And let's say things like WordPress. I know that working with you've told me that WordPress is actually so user-friendly that you could have a professional as yourself design the site for the user, aka me, but then I actually have the ability to go in and make wholesale changes without having to call up the web designer and get charged for extra things like that. A bride and groom could do the same thing, I would imagine, making small changes and updates and adding pictures through WordPress or different programs like that.
Oh, definitely. A lot of times that's the first thing I'll ask is, will you want me to make all the changes, or do you think that you'll want to go in there and make changes? And depending upon what they say, if they say, yeah, I want to be able to go in there and maybe change the color here and there, or the fonts or the wording, then I'll install a thing on there called a page builder. And what a page builder does, it adds functionality to the back end WordPress. So it makes it more, instead of having to know HTML, which is the coding language of the internet, you don't need to know that. It makes it more like drag and drop, more like Word, where you just drop in a picture, and then you could just click on that picture and change it out or rotate it, change the color, change the fonts. Makes it much easier. So that's one of the big things that we specialize in is with the page managers, making it easy for people to update their website if they want to.
So let's just go there right now and just say that we have couples out there and they're interested in your services and how to get in contact with you. So give a little information now about ZonCon and all the things that you do, Greg.
Yeah, so we design websites for many different types of clients. Of course, me being a disc jockey in the past, that was my forte. So that's where I started. I started designing websites for disc jockeys. And I've done, I don't know how many, so many of them. But I can be contacted if somebody wants to just reach out and just give me a call. I can always, even if you don't become a client, I'm always open to answer any questions that people have. You can see more about us. Our website is zoncom.com. That's Zulu Ostrich November Charlie Oscar Mike.com. And our phone number is 815-676-5275.
And I remind the listeners of the program that when they go to the Music in Motion website and check us out, they're seeing Greg's handiwork, which you've done quite a wonderful job for us. And I thank you for that, Greg. And thank you for your time today on Wedding of Distinction. Hopefully we've opened some people's eyes up as to what they can do and, how they can make a fun and interactive site to enhance all the wedding plans.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg.
This here is a remarkable,
The Wedding of Distinction podcast is a production of Music in Motion Entertainment. All rights reserved. Any unauthorized publication of this program is strictly prohibited. For the Wedding of Distinction podcast, I'm Mike Vincent. Happy wedding planning, everybody.
Come on.